historians, and welcome to Lord of Lore, where we break down the lore and history of our favorite video games and fantasies. Today, we're going back into the world of Amalur to discuss one of my favorite factions within the game, and that is the Warsworn. Situated within key fortresses spread across the western Phalanx, the Warsworn are a large collection of warriors who fight as swords for hire, setting themselves apart from common mercenaries due to their codes of honor and structured organization. But, as many players of the game may have realized, Warsworn are more than simply a group of warriors selling their skills for coin, and today we'll be discussing the history of the Warsworn from their ancient origins to the way they are today. As always, be forewarned, there are spoilers ahead. Let's discuss. Long ago, the Order was known as the Firstsworn, and unlike their modern mercenary contemporaries, the Firstsworn were first and foremost demon hunters. Based on notes about the Arathi and Niskaru like Pharagnos, it was the ancient Arathi who defeated the Niskaru and kept them from driving the world into chaos. However, many remnants of the Niskaru still occupied the mortal world, particularly in the Phalanx, and the Firstsworn devoted themselves to fighting off the demon hordes. Our first records of the great Firstsworn heroes speak of the legendary Aemon, the first Warsworn and the mightiest of demon slayers. He led his people against the Niskaru and taught their descendants the secrets and weaknesses of their demon enemies, and according to the Keeper of Documents, Lirin Sinric, it was said that Aemon did this with the power of a special magic, which was particularly intriguing since the human races had not yet received the arcane ability. However, one of the Firstsworn's greatest threats would be the rise of the great sorcerer Farlong and his attempt to resurrect Khamazandu. While all Niskaru were dangerous, and the greater Niskaru like Balor and Sedekar are known for their destructive capabilities, Khamazandu was a Niskaru lord, godlike being said to wield the very chaos of Telogrus. Farlong, an exiled prince from the steppes of Sindrilder, who was tempted by Khamazandu's offers, appeared to the people as a prophet, promising them eternal life and great power, and his followers became the Farlangi. On the peaks of Cloudcrest, the Farlangi cultists worked to free Khamazandu from his mountain prison. Meanwhile, Aemon's son, Aegon, was fighting off hordes of Niskaru in the north beside his allies, Adorius, Lyanna, and Argul, completely unaware of the Farlangi's deeds. Then, the warrior Teodar saw the Farlangi doing their work while climbing the mountains, and so he went to the legendary blacksmith Andurin and begged for a hammer worthy of Aegon. However, to make a weapon worthy of defeating Farlong, Andurin needed the secrets of Aemon himself, so Teodar retrieved the knowledge from the Firstsworn sage and gave it to Andurin, and he used this knowledge to forge the great mystic hammer. For many days and many nights, without food or rest, Teodar marched to Aegon, and then he warned them of the danger. When Aegon refused to abandon the war, Teodar offered to lead the front himself. So as Aegon took the hammer and made his way to Cloudcrest, Teodar gave his life holding back the Niskaru hordes. As Aegon and his followers fought their way up the mountain, Eldorius, using the secrets of Aemon's magic, defeated the greater Niskaru known as Todok'Zar, and Aegon used the mystic hammer to defeat Farlong and reseal Khamazandu within his prison. With their lord's influence resealed, the power of the Niskaru began to wane in the Phalanx. The next great Firstsworn hero was Aegon's daughter, Cerwyn, said to be one of the finest warriors in history. Under her leadership, the Firstsworn pushed the Niskaru further and further back, till eventually, the Niskaru disappeared in the Phalanx save but the deepest places. While Cerwyn would later die to a traitor within her own ranks, her legacy ensured the Phalanx were free of the Niskaru's influence. However, what came next would endanger the Firstsworn forever, a threat that would weigh on the soul of their new leader, Belegar. Without the threat of the Niskaru, the Firstsworn found themselves without purpose and began to weaken in unity. Unwilling to watch the order die away, Belegar came up with the Second Oath. Under this creed, the new warriors of the Warsworn pledged themselves to the services of their neighbors, offering their steel and their honor to those that would pay for their services. In the following years, the commander Shepard and his followers would lead the Warsworn into this line of mercenary work. As the centuries passed, few would remember the history and original purpose of the Firstsworn, with even some of their highest-ranking members only knowing vague pieces of their origins. Now then, let's theorize a bit. The Firstsworn were powerful warriors that held back the Niskaru, but as it is often said, the Niskaru are great demons of unstoppable chaos magic, with the destruction of greater Niskaru like Balor and Pharagnos known to be so powerful that no mortal force could stand in its way. If this is the case, then how is Khamazandu, a Niskaru lord far more powerful than Balar and Faragnos, defeated by the Firstborn? And what power did Amon wield before the lesser races were given magic? Thankfully, we can use context from world lore and design to answer these questions. According to the lore stones, it was the Arathi, ancient masters of order and fate magic, who were the ancient enemies of the Niskaru, and it was they who defeated not only Faragnos, but also Khamazandu himself. As mentioned before, the teachings of the Arathi were inherited by the human race known as the Mithrans, followers of Mitharu and the ancestors of the Almain. As told in the history books, the ancient Firstborn were made mostly of Almain, all of them loyal to Mitharu. By taking a closer look at the Mystic Hammer, we can see that it bears the same markings as the doors and walls of Arathi ruins. Because of this, it is my belief that Amon and the ancient Firstborn wielded some power of the ancient Arathi, using fate magic in a way similar to how the Fateless One defeated Balor. Thanks to the events of Reckoning and the return of the Furlongi, it is likely that the future Warsworn will be more aware of their history and their role against the Niskaru. Regardless of this, it is no secret that the world of Amalur continues to grow in might and magic. If the Niskaru return, what part will the Warsworn play in driving them back? Will we see them reconnect with the greater powers of the Arathi? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to drop a like and subscribe so my channel can grow. Feel free to comment what you would like to see next, new videos every week. God bless.